and today's video is literally, I feel like I've talked about doing for such a long time. I'm going to be explaining modelling terms that you might not know the meaning to, so this could be helpful to models who are just starting out or anyone who wants to know a bit more about the modelling industry. So I've made a list on my phone of words that get used quite often in the industry that I'm going to try my best to explain the meaning of. Also, I've got details for a giveaway at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around until then to see how you can have the chance to enter the giveaway. Okay, so I'm going to go through the list of words and do my best to explain them. So the first word I've got is a casting. A casting is kind of similar to an audition, if you know what that is. So you might get asked to go to a casting before you book a certain job. Models are sent to go and see a client or a casting director to potentially work for them. So a casting director or a client were told a casting for their upcoming shoot they've got, so that they can see models like in the flesh. Castings can involve masses of models or very few, depending on how much time like the client or the casting director and everyone else has, and how many different models they want to see and if they have any particular in mind. There's also different types of castings. So a request casting is when you've specifically been chosen by the casting director or the client or whoever you're seeing, which is obviously a massive deal that they've kind of requested to see you. Normal castings are often a lot bigger. Sometimes the casting director will just send kind of like a overall brief to your agency of girls or boys that they want to see. So they might say, send anyone you've got who's got brown hair, that's got curly hair, and light eyes or something like that. So they can be briefs and you can be sent, and then at the casting they'll see if you fit that brief. I hope that made it kind of clearer what a casting is, but usually when you get to a casting it's usually quite quick. You don't get a lot of time one-on-one with the person you're seeing. They might ask you a few questions, look through your portfolio, and they might take a few pictures, and then that's usually it. Models will know that often there can be a lot of models there and the queues are massive, so it can take a while just to have like a 2-minute slot with the person you're seeing. So yeah, that is what a casting is. It's basically the process before you can potentially be booked for a job. A go-see, I've touched on this slightly in like previous videos, but a go-see is kind of like a casting, but it's a lot more niche, if that's the right word. You often get a longer time, and it's not necessarily just with a casting director or a client. You can also have go-sees with photographers or directors or just anyone in the industry, usually like a one-on-one. You get more time in a go-see usually just to chat more about who you are as a person, and you get the opportunity to kind of ask whoever you're seeing more questions. They also can look through your book, and it's just for the person you're seeing to keep you in mind for future jobs and shoots. It's not always for a specific job that they've got in mind. Your portfolio is also another word for your book. I've got mine here, I can show you. A lot of models have like digital online portfolios, but you should also get a book. This is mine, and inside are just like photos from, it can be test shoots or jobs or editorials, which you take to your castings to show the client, and they can look through that. They're often sent these images as well beforehand, but they also like to look through them when you're there, and it just kind of displays like your image and the work you've done. It's kind of an opportunity to show how versatile you are. It is really important to have like a strong book and to always be doing test shoots to kind of build your book, build your confidence in front of the camera. And it also shows like different poses, you in different angles, different lights, different makeup, different hair, and it will be your agency who select the photos that go into your book, as they know what clients are looking for and the correct image for you. A test shoot, which I've also talked about, is a photo shoot, sometimes just with a photographer, or there can be a whole team like the stylist, makeup, hair and the photographer. A lot of the time test shoots are free and the images can potentially be used in your portfolio if your agents or bookers receive them back and they like them, or sometimes the model pays for the test shoot if your book particularly needs like a revamp, or you've now got a different image, so that needs to be showcased in your book. So you drastically cut your hair or anything and the images are needed sooner and there's a more specific look in mind. Often a test shoot can be like a little mini project that the photographer wants to do and needs models for. Also just if the team need more images for their portfolios as well, because the photographer can use these photos to showcase their work. It can be a chance for hair and makeup to experiment and showcase their work as well. It's kind of like a little collaboration between the models and the photographer's hair and makeup to create some images. A model's chart is often like on an online system that your agents take care of, where it shows your schedule, any appointments you've got coming up, any jobs, any shoots or anything, they get put onto your chart, and it just keeps track of what you have going on. Any options get put onto your chart as well, so it's just kind of like an online diary for the model that the bookers take care of. An editorial is often a shoot that will be used in a magazine or be published. Editorial models often are high fashion. An example of an editorial is a magazine like Vogue or Elle, and that would be classed as an editorial shoot if you was to shoot for a magazine like that. A profile shot, kind of a weird term to put in this, but when I first started out modelling I didn't know what profile meant. So if you're shooting your digitals or your Polaroids or at any shoot, you can be asked to profile, and it's basically just the side of your face. So if I look this way, this is my profile. If you was to shoot from this angle, that would be a profile shot. So it's just like the side of your face. And as I just mentioned, your digitals or your Polaroids, them kind of two words are exchangeable. They are kind of the blank canvas photos that usually get taken at your agency, and they're kind of the first thing that clients see of you. They like to see these photos as you're not like styled. You kind of style yourself, usually just in like fitted clothes, very simple photos with your hair really natural, your face really natural, and they'll just be like a full length shot straight on your profile and stuff like that. Just really simple plain shots of you. Your booker is the person that works in the agency that kind of takes care of you and is in charge of booking you jobs. So they kind of decide what jobs you get put forward to, what shoots you go on. They're basically in charge of your career, and they're also there like to support you. There's someone to talk to. You can always email them or pop in and see them if you've got any problems. And yeah, they just help you as a person and are with you through your career as a model. A callback is usually if you've been successful at a casting, the client might ask you to come back and see you for a second time before making a decision on who they want to book for the job. So it's a very positive thing. They don't always do callbacks, but for runway shows there are often callbacks. It's just to see you a second time if they're narrowing down their decisions. A fitting, in terms of if you're doing runway, is if you've kind of been successful in the casting process, you might get called back for a fitting, which is where you try on potential outfits that the client can see you walking in, just to see how you look in that outfit before they actually book you, or they could decide that your look isn't actually right for the show. So it's just a chance for them to try on outfits on you and see if they suit you, like your figure, your height, your hair colour, everything like that gets taken into account. Your comp card is a little card. I've got an example of one of mine here, which you carry with you to castings, and it's just kind of like an overall summary of you. It has your statistics and your measurements on it and a couple of photos. So this was one of mine. It has my name and then a full-length photo and just like details about me. It has my height, measurements, shoes, hair, and eye colour. So it's just like a little summary of the model that gets given to clients so that they can keep it. Your mother agent is kind of the person or the agency that first discovered you and kind of in charge of managing you. So my mother agency is the agency I was first signed with and they're based in London, so they will always decide kind of where else I'm placed, and everything in turn routes back to them, if that makes sense. A new face, there's often different boards within the agency. There might be like women's, men's, classic, and then there's new faces, and it's kind of self-explanatory. It's the newest models to the agency that are still being worked on. You might still be in development, like building your confidence in front of a camera. New faces often do a lot of test shoots and castings to meet different clients and be in clients' minds. New faces are often very desirable in high fashion during show seasons, because you can really be branded and tailored to their brand if you're new and not like being exposed already. So a lot of high fashion brands often like that, because you can be exclusive to them for a while and be like the face of their brand. A casting director is the person who selects the models for the job. Often a client will employ a casting director to choose the best model for their job, because they know they've got an eye for it, and they're particularly talented in what they do, so they know they can trust them to choose the right model that will fit the aesthetic for the shoot that they've got in mind. And that is all the terms I have written down. Of course, if there are any other terms that you want to know the meaning of, you can always message me and I'll be happy to answer it to the best of my ability. Hopefully that was like helpful to a certain degree, but now I'm going to tell you quickly about the giveaway. So I have teamed up with Hippeas to give you a month's supply of their chickpea puffs. I always used to have these at sixth form because they're a lot better for you than normal crisps. As I said, they're chickpea and they're 100% vegan as well, which is amazing, and they taste so good. This is my favourite flavour, the sweet and smoky, but I know there's a lot of others. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning a month's supply of these, then all you have to do is follow their Instagram, which I'll put on the screen, and also be following my Instagram, and make sure you've given this video a thumbs up. Then you'll be in for a chance of winning a month's supply of Hippeas. I'll leave any other information about the giveaway in the description, but the competition ends on the 27th, so make sure you are quick. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. If there's any aspiring models out there or anyone who's just signed, congrats. I wish you all the best and hopefully it helped, but I will see you next time with my next video. Bye!